Hello, 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 YouTube. I hope all is well with each and every last one of you. I haven't been on here to go live in like forever. So I wanted to come back. I want to be able to say hi, how are you? How are you doing? I would love to be able to know what are your New Year's resolutions or your goals, should I say? I no longer make resolutions like I used to. So let me tell you, who is this person behind Inspired by Vanessa? Well, you're looking at her. My name is Vanessa Canterbury, and I am the CEO of Inspired by Vanessa, where I teach people how they can be able to birth their book and turn their book into a business. Yes. How can you turn your book into a business? And why did I go this way? I get that question often. So still stay connected so you can be able to learn how I was able to turn into a business. So make sure that you are clicking on that link below where you can be able to subscribe to get to know more when I go live, when I'm posting no videos or whatever the case may be. So you can be able to stay up to date, get these motivational messages, also this content so you can be able to learn more how you could be able to birth your book and so much more. So leave your comments below, and I look forward to you sharing it out, thumbs it up, and let me know how you enjoying this video. So let's talk about it, shall we? Well, I started writing my book after the death of my brother in 2010. And it's therapy. I always will write. That's how I would get through. That's how I felt like I was healing. That's how I was releasing my pain. That's how I was feeling like I was really doing something with myself instead of taking it out on somebody else. How many times have you been so frustrated that you took your pain, your frustration, your aggravation, your uncertainties out on somebody else? And then you look back and say, dang, did I really do that? Now you got to go back and you have to apologize, right? Well, that was me. And I didn't want to be that person, right? I did not want to be that person to constantly have to go back and apologize. So let me go ahead and release this pain, this frustration that I was feeling. And so I did. I wrote the book. It's called Breaking the Cycle of Brokenness. And I wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote. And I never knew when I was finished writing that book that basically that book comes from a prayer. It comes from a prayer that I had for my children when it was small, when it was younger. It was maybe, my son probably was about 3, 4 years old. And I prayed because I was in a situation where my back was against the wall. I was making the same and going down the same path that I knew all so well. And I hit rock bottom. I hit rock bottom and I prayed. I prayed like never before on how I could be able to turn the situation around. How can I really get outside of myself to be able to say, you know what, there's got to be a better way. There's have to be a better way, right? And so one of the things that I did was pray. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. Lord knows I prayed. And I prayed to the point where I knew there's had to be a better way, right? And so with it being a better way, I knew that what was best for me, good for me. And so prayer works. But I never knew it was going to turn into a book. I had no clue. But it did. It turned to a book. And it's called Breaking the Cycle of Brokenness. And that book really opened up so many eyes to be able to see the things that people thought that I didn't experience that I really did experience. And real, raw, and healing. Yeah, that's what I talked about. I talked about relationships. I talk about the things that I experienced in my upbringing. I talk about being a teen mom. I talked about being broken. I talked about so many things, right? And all the things that I have done and how I was able to overcome. And that was most important to me, because oftentimes we want to be able to just get over and bypass all the things that we have experienced, but yet we have not taken the time out to be able to learn the lessons that we are experiencing in our life. And that's what I wrote about. But then I turned around, found myself holding on to that book for 5 years. And I held on to that book because I did the traditional route. The traditional route meaning I went to a publishing company, and then I went to another publishing company, then I went to another publishing company, and then I was like, wait a minute, this is not making any sense. And now my information is being circulated so people could be able to reach out to me to be able to write my book. The unfortunate part about birthing my book is that going with a publishing company, a traditional publishing company, they wanted me to pay them a nice amount of money, let's say $6,000. And I said, $6,000? I'm over here getting an unemployment check. Are you serious right now? $6,000? And then they wanted the 20% of royalties off of every book that I had sold. But then I couldn't have the rights of my book. It made no sense to me. And so I was like, wait a minute, this is really not making sense. They really enjoyed, the concept of my book. But at the same time, it wasn't no longer going to be my book because I would not be able to do anything with my book. And that's something that people fail to realize, that if you go with a publishing company, you sign off. You have to still give them royalties. You still have to pay them that big check. And plus, on top of that, you can't do anything else with that book. So if you want to do a conference, if you want to do a workbook, if you wanted to be able to do a workshop, whatever the case may be with your book, you was not able to do it. Yeah. So I knew there had to be a better way. Have you heard of this thing called work smarter, not harder? Yeah, so I had to be smart. So the book sat. It did. It sat for a little bit longer until I have built the trust of building a team that knew the things that I didn't know. See, this is the thing. We are too afraid to be able to get around people that know a little bit more than we do because we think that we could be able to do it all. But if you feel that you could be able to do it all, you're going to want to burn yourself out. And then when you burn yourself out, then who's benefiting? That was my thing. So in order for people who kept reaching out to me, in order for them to get my book, then what do I have to do? I had to be able to produce this book. So I built this amazing team to be able to get this book out. And as I did that, turned around, got that book out, turned around, got another book out, another book out, another book out. More people kept reaching out to me. And within 3 years now, it'll be 3 years, this upcoming March, it'll be 7 books. That's all been self-published with Vanessa Canterbury name on it. That's not including the clients that I have worked with. So I am helping people to be able to birth their book and show them how they could be able to get their book out, turn it into a business, and then make additional stream of income. And I've been blessed. I've been extremely blessed to be able to do so. And I have made so many connections and made so many changes in things, meaning there's always, keeping up with the way things are going, right? So as things continue to grow, you want to be able to continue to learn. And I've been blessed to be able to take those life lessons through this whole process and help so many other people to be able to get their books up and going, to be able to birth their book, to be able to make their dreams a reality. And so that's me in a nutshell. So if this is relatable to you and you want to be able to birth your own book, then I suggest that you get in contact with me at InspiredByVanessa.com. There are some amazing things that's taking place. Don't allow another month. Don't let 5 years go by like I did to be able to let this book sit. Go ahead and make sure that you connect with me at InspiredByVanessa.com. And you could be able to see all the amazing things that we are working on to be able to help people to be able to birth their book, to be able to have all this inclusive information that helped me along the way, help my clients along the way, open up doors for them like they never thought would ever happen. Why? Because I done the work, and with me doing the work, I don't want someone else to be able to have to go down that lane that I went down with publishing companies. We just got to be real with it. Okay. So you have an idea, you have a vision, you hold on to something, connect with me so I could be able to see how I could be able to serve you at InspiredByVanessa.com. In the meantime, between time, if you like it, what I'm saying, subscribe to this button here so you can be able to know when I'm going live and also when I'm posting new videos. And also, on top of all of that, continue to follow me on all social media platforms at Inspired by Vanessa so you don't miss a beat. Okay? In the meantime, between time, be blessed, and I will be back soon.